Hi there, this is Patrick from Recipe Kit. This will be a quick video going over how you can get started creating your first recipe within Recipe Kit. Here I am in the Recipe Kit dashboard. Obviously I already have some recipes created here, but to get started you can just click on this Create a Recipe in the top right hand corner. Here we're shown two options: create a new blog post or use an existing blog post. This is pretty straightforward. Recipe Kit attaches a recipe card to your Shopify store blog posts. So if you already have an existing blog post with information on it, you can click on this option. Otherwise, most people will want to create a new blog post while creating the recipe, which is what I'll do here today. Once we click on that, you'll see this Create a Blog Post page. This is, again, pretty straightforward. Here, we'll want to create or add in information for the blog post itself. So this isn't directly in the recipe card. This is a great area for fleshing out detail about the recipe, about the story behind it, the ingredients, about your store, how you came up with the recipe, etc. In most cases, you'll probably want to have a different blog post title than to what your actual recipe title is called. So in this case, I'll call this my favorite roasted vegetable recipe. Fill in my name and some base information. Just as a note, this area, the blog post content, is really useful for Google results and for filling in Google keywords that your customers might be looking for while they're searching on Google. Once we go down here, you'll see this blog post category field. When we click on that, you'll see all of the different Shopify blogs on my store. Here I'll go to recipes. Once we click on that, you'll be sent to the Create a Recipe page. Now that we're on the Create a Recipe page, we can start filling out the actual recipe details. Most of these fields are straightforward, but I'll go through most of them just so you can see how it goes. Starting out with recipe title, you obviously put in your recipe's title. Recipe description, this is a really good field for a quick 1 or 2 sentence description that, for example, when your customers print out your recipe, this description is one of the things that they can scan over and just make sure that they know what the recipe is about. I'm just pasting this in from a recipe taken from another recipe site. Recipe category, this is just useful for displaying for customers. So in this case, I'll say it's a dinner. Recipe cuisine, this can be Italian, American, Mediterranean, the cuisine associated with the recipe itself. Here I'll call it Asian. Recipe keywords, this is mostly used for Google results. So here I will add in vegetarian, miso, and dinner plate. Below here, you can see this little field, add recipe keywords as blog post tags. This is super useful if your theme has recipe filtering or blog post filtering built into it. Most themes will have a blog post filtering feature that uses blog post tags to filter and categorize blog posts. So in this case, I'll toggle that on. The author, it's optional, but I'll just add my name in. Serving size, prep time, cook time, and there we go. That's the core details figured out. Next up is the ingredient list. So I will just start pasting in my ingredients here. This is pretty straightforward. You can just paste in one by one the different ingredients. The cool thing here, and where Recipe Kit really shines, is being able to attach your Shopify products as ingredients within Recipe Kit. So to do that, you can just click on this Attach Product button, and here you'll see a pop-up with a list of all of your Shopify store products that are available. So I'll just click into this assorted bell peppers product and add it in. Now, depending on which plan you're on Recipe Kit, it'll either just show a link going to this product page, or if you're on the business plan with the new Shoppable recipes feature, it'll actually embed an add to cart form and button so that your customers can buy the product from within the recipe card, which is super cool. I'll skip through this and just start adding in directions. Thankfully, there's not many in this case. Here you can add bold, italic, or links within the directions, of course, as well. Next up, add in the recipe image. I'll add that in there. You can change the alt text as needed. Here you can post in a embedded YouTube URL, which is great for showing your customers how the entire recipe is made. Below that, you can toggle on the recipe ratings feature, which allows your users to rate the recipe up to 5 stars. And after that, you can see a basic recipe notes feature where you can add notes about how to cook a specific ingredient in a specific way, or extras that you can add on to the recipe. I'll leave that out for now. At the bottom here, you can see the recipe nutrition area. This is all optional, but it's really useful for Google results and also for customers that are just interested in the nutrition of your recipe. You can add in various different fields like carbs, cholesterol, fat, etc. I'll leave that just with calories. Now that this is all done, we can go ahead and click Create Recipe. So once you've created the recipe, you'll be sent back to the Recipe Kit dashboard page. This page is pretty straightforward. It shows you a list of all of your recipes you've created and gives you some handy feedback like the rating that customers have given to your recipe, as well as the number of people that have rated it. So that's a really good glance at giving you an idea of which recipes that your customers enjoy versus ones that they don't like as much. So if we click in here to the roasted vegetable recipe that I just created, you'll be sent to the edit recipe page, which is just like the create recipe page, and we can go in here and edit the data and just click save accordingly. What I'll do here is click on the view recipe button, and this will send us to the newly created recipe blog post. Here you can see that Recipe Kit has added in this great looking recipe card just below the blog post content. Within this recipe card, you can see all of the recipe information that we just added in the Recipe Kit app. The recipe card not only looks great, but it also adds in Google rich schema data, which means that Google now knows that this page has a recipe on it. And they can show this page in search results with extra recipe information like the recipe photo, calories, cooking time, etc. This is super handy for attracting new customers and readers from Google search results. Otherwise, we can see the ingredient that we connected to our Shopify store product here. The ingredient now has a clickable link to the product page. And specifically because my store has upgraded to the Shoppable recipes feature, I can now add this product to my cart directly from within the recipe card and purchase it as normal. There's a ton of other great features that Recipe Kit adds to your store, but I hope that this video helped guide you through the recipe creation process and answered a few questions that you may have had. As always, let me know if there's anything else I can ever help with or explain further about the app. Thank you so much for using Recipe Kit. I hope you enjoy it and have a great day.